Welcome to the Perfectly Flawed podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. For those that don't know you, would you like to give a little bit of an overview of who you are?
First of all, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Mariafe Artacho del Solar. I'm an Australian Olympic beach volleyball athlete who currently won silver medal at the Olympic Games. I guess that's pretty much how I can introduce myself.
Yeah, what was it like going to Tokyo and then on that, like winning a medal as well?
Yeah, it was obviously an incredible experience, a very unique one. Obviously because of everything that was going on and having no tournament and the maybe it was going to get cancelled, maybe it wasn't. So at the end of the day, it was amazing on how they went about things. They made us feel super safe and everything ran really smoothly. Obviously winning a medal during these circumstances was just the cherry on top of everything we've been through. Obviously, it wasn't the ideal preparation for us because we would have liked way more international competition and all that. But it's funny how you find a way. If you really want things to happen, you really find a way. When there's a way, when there's a will, there's a way. It was just super proud of how we went about things, and we ended up walking away with medal.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. What was it like competing in an empty stadium? Because I've heard like mixed things. What was it like for you?
Honestly, I didn't even notice that it was empty. Once I stepped on court, it was just in the zone. I was just really focused about what I was doing. And you kind of didn't notice what was going around you. Like everything else was just white noise. And it's very similar to when it is a packed stadium. You notice that there's people, but you don't really know what's going on around you. I thought, to be honest, it was going to be way more noticeable and it was going to have an impact, but honestly, I didn't even feel it.
Yeah, that's so good. How did you fall into beach volleyball?
So I am originally from Peru. I was born there and I started playing volleyball over there. My sister played. So as a younger sister, I was following her steps and going to all her trainings and competitions and all that. So I've always played volleyball alongside all other sports that you can think of. And then when I was 11, mum and I moved to Australia, and my brother, who was already here, introduced beach volleyball to me. And in Sydney, he signed us up for a social tournament in Manly, a 4-a-side, so 4 against 4. And that's really how I got introduced to beach volleyball, and I loved it. I thought it was so fun. Just really wanted to keep playing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you said like you did heaps of other sports as well. What was it about beach volleyball that made you stick that out rather than another sport?
I think I was always a little bit more natural at volleyball than the other sports because I played it way more. But when I was 13, I got selected to play for Australia in my first under-19 World Championships, and I got to travel overseas and compete and experience what it was like to play beach volleyball overseas and professionally in front of your country. And that was really the moment where I realized that that was what I wanted to do as a career, and I wanted to pursue it and do it as a job, I guess, full-time job.
Yeah, that's amazing having such an incredible opportunity at such a young age. What was that even like?
It was obviously a surprise. I kind of participated and was invited to this training camp in Adelaide where the national program was based. It was only 2 years after I landed in Australia as well. So it was more of a way for me to introduce myself and kind of let them know that I play volleyball and I love it and it's something I want to do in the future, and meet the national, I guess, program coaches and all that. But yeah, I ended up getting selected for the under-19 team, and it was an incredible experience to play for Australia when I was 13 it was in Poland, actually, the world champ. So to travel, to Poland, where I don't think I've ever would have gone to for starters. So it was, and over there, volleyball is so big. So everyone, the stadium was huge. Everyone came, people lining up from 5 a.m. Like everyone's so passionate about volleyball. So it was really, really cool experience. I guess to experience that at such a young age.
Yeah, I can imagine it would be. That's amazing. How much travel have you been? Obviously, with COVID, it's a bit hard, but how much have you been able to travel with volleyball?
Oh, so much. Like, I'm so grateful to do what I do and have the opportunity to have, to do my passion for a job. But yeah, it's taken me all over the world, from Asia to Europe to the US to back to South America where I come from. And yeah, just beautiful places that again I probably wouldn't have been to just as a choice. But it's opened me up to so many beautiful cultures and met incredible people that I'll definitely keep forever.
Yeah, absolutely. What's it like in beach volleyball? Because obviously you're with a teammate, you have one other person with you. How do you go about establishing that rapport? Because I can imagine you two would be quite close.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a very unique, special relationship. We have a strong connection on court, and we read each other really well. So that makes it so much easier as a team. But yeah, we also respect our own space, and like you said, we're always together. So we travel together, we room together, we train together. It's practically like a relationship. Sometimes, most of the time, I spend more time with T than I do with my actual husband. So you really have to respect each other and respect that space that sometimes we do need for the better of us. But yeah, we're super grateful that we have a great relationship and partnership. So it makes it a fun journey.
Yeah, I can imagine. I know, like, from my background in swimming, we spend so much time together at training. It's basically like family. So I can imagine just having that one person, it would be quite similar.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's it. You know each other super well, and you get super comfortable. You pee with the door open, and yeah, you get super close.
Yeah, what's it like when a game doesn't go to plan or training session or you guys are just a bit off? What do you like? What goes through your mind, and how do you then go about changing that?
Well, look, sometimes you can't control the outcome. So what you can control is the process, and how you prepare yourself, and um, everything you do towards that outcome. And that's really all you can really ask yourself. I mean, sometimes, yeah, things don't go right, you don't feel great, but you can't really feel like wait to feel good for it to happen. You kind of like, it's not just going to happen. Like you can't hope for it to happen, and you kind of have to make it happen. But yeah, going back to those processes, it's super important for us, and that's kind of what we always go back to and focus on in every game. And if you do that, then the outcome will just take care of itself.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because a lot of people that I've spoken to now have said the same thing. If you have to think about those processes, because if you
Yeah.
think about the result, like, it's just not going to work.
Nah, that's it. Yeah, you can't think too much far ahead. You can't get caught thinking what just happened because it's already gone. So you really have to stay really present.
Yeah. What about when, I mean, I guess it's kind of different in volleyball to an extent, but um, when you kind of feel those emotions coming up, but you need to stay in the moment, how do you do that? Because I can imagine it being such a hard thing to do.
Yeah, it takes practice for sure. I mean, I've been working on it a lot, and I love meditation, like breathing technique, and just kind of centering yourself and finding that balance. And there's always got to be things happening in your mind. It's got to be that voice, but you just have to stay really strong on what you're there to do and what you're focusing, what your focus is. So as soon as your mind starts getting distracted and this and that, you just always go back to, okay, what do I need to do?
Yeah, absolutely. How did you get into meditation? Is that something that you've always done, or how did you come across it?
No, it's not something that I've always done. I mean, I used to struggle with it and find it super challenging because I couldn't kind of rest my mind. Like I couldn't just relax and be in the moment and ignore all the thoughts that were coming in. It definitely takes practice, and I'm still not great at it. Like I don't master it, but I accept every time I do it. And I guess I don't even know how to explain it. Like it's so hard to explain meditation. It's just really and yourself, and you just have to, you know, be okay with everything around you, and aware of what's going on, and just super calm, and try to, I guess, if thoughts start coming to your mind, just accepting those, not kind of trying to fight it, but just try and come back again to that, focusing on the breathing. And I found that helped me during the games.
Yeah, I can imagine it would. And I mean, I've tried meditation before and I have always said that it's not my thing, but obviously it does take time, because I think too, being such an active person, like I find it so hard just to sit still and just calm my thoughts. I'm like, I start fidgeting, or like, oh, I'll just do this or I'll do that. And
Yeah,
I get so distracted.
yeah, it's definitely, it takes practice for sure. And like, I'm still kind of trying to master it. I don't think, like, it'll take a long time, I think, trying to master it, but it's just a matter of practicing 5 minutes every day and listening to your body too. Sometimes, you know, meditating for everyone doesn't mean sitting down and you know, trying to be still. A lot of the time means doing something that you feel that you're in that zone with yourself, and you feel balanced and aligned. So it's definitely looks different for everyone.
Yeah, I can see how that would be too. Like sometimes for me, it's just a matter of going for a walk. Don't take my phone or any sort of electronic devices with me. Go for a walk,
Yeah,
screen free, just 10 minutes.
and that's it, and just be in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like for you? I mean, from my point of view and what I've seen of you play, going into that gold medal match with the other team, what kind of expectations did you feel? Did you feel like pressure from like externally or internally, knowing that, you know, this could be Australia's first gold medal in ages? Like, what was it like going into that game?
Oh, look, there's always going to be pressures and expectations, but it's how you know, how you respond to them. And I always told myself after the Olympics, I want to look back and have no regrets, and make, you know, I want to ask myself, did I do everything I could in my preparation? Did I do everything, you know, everything I could control? Because you can't control the outcome, like I was saying to you before. So there's no point getting caught up on that. But I can control how I prepare and what I do and all the decisions I make to get me closer to my goal. So I think it's just not getting too caught up on the expectations, but just on the focusing on the things you can control. And again, like, always go back to the processes. If you focus on the processes, then the outcome will just take care of itself. And you can only do your best. So as long as you give it your all and you don't leave anything behind, and then you ask yourself, did I do that? Yeah, I did. But did I end up losing? Yeah, I did. Well, that's okay. Like, sometimes you can't win them all. You know, it's not meant to be. It wasn't our time. But it was all, like, they're all learnings, they're all lessons. So yeah, as long as you did your best and you did what you could control, then that's all you could ask yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I think you said, as long as you do your best and knowing that you can reflect back and go, yep, I did absolutely everything I could, then
Yeah,
you can't be anything but happy with how you went.
yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, like, winning or losing, it doesn't define who you are. I mean, for me, to my main priority is to be a good person first, and that helps me being a better player. So that makes me happy, and that's what fulfills me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a common thing that keeps coming up, is being a person outside of being an athlete has really come up quite a lot. How do you go about establishing your identity outside of volleyball?
Well, for me, I'm Mariafe the person first, and then I'm Mariafe the volleyball player. You know, like I was saying to you, it obviously didn't take overnight for me to feel this way, and I've been working on my, you know, self-development, because that's another motivation of mine. I always want to be the best version of myself. I am my own competition. You know, being better than I was yesterday is what motivates me. So for me to be a good person and a good human and have that impact on people is honestly what makes me so happy and fulfills me. Winning medals and championships, it's a complete bonus. I love playing, you know, It's super fun. But at the end of the day, winning or losing doesn't define me, who I am. I know who I am. I know my worth. And winning or losing doesn't give me that sense of worth. Who I am as a person first is what, gives me that sense of worth and who I am as a person.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that's a really important thing to be able to figure out for yourself. What kind of things make you happy, or what kind of things do you enjoy outside of volleyball?
I love like spending time with my family and friends. That makes me so happy. Helping people and making them happy makes me super happy. Being able to have that really positive impact on them, by sharing my story and everything I've experienced, and inspiring them absolutely makes me fulfilled. I love saying that connection and that impact. And yeah, I mean, I'm all about self-care and self-love. So I think it's a huge, important thing for me to be the person I am. I need to take care of myself first. So that's really important for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is a really important thing, because I think people forget that you can't pour from an empty cup is quite a common
Yeah.
saying. What kind of things do you do to fill your cup?
Oh, I love pampering myself. So going for facials and massages and pedis and manis and, stuff like that, like having my me time. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
That's my
absolutely.
favorite anyway.
I mean, you
But
can't
yeah,
go wrong.
no, but I do also love spending time with my pets. I love my furry babies and my husband, and just, laying on the couch and be be relaxed and literally not doing anything also makes me so happy.
Yeah. I think especially being an athlete, having such a busy schedule, sometimes it is nice to just sit on the couch and just do nothing.
Yeah, like I don't really need to go away on a holiday for me to feel happy and, relaxed. Like I just love being home with my people. That honestly is the perfect switch off time.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think then, like you said, helping other people makes you happy and fulfills you? Um, what's it like now that you've been in the spotlight? How does it feel that you could be that inspiration or that role model for other people?
Well, I think we all have a story, and if we're able to share our story with others, you have no idea how you can make a positive impact to that person. I mean, I've just been chatting to anyone throughout this whole time that I've been in quarantine, and just by sharing my story, you could see like the impact you have on people, and that just like the light that you see on their eyes. It just makes me like I love saying that. So I guess, yeah, having that connection with someone or whatever it is, even if it's just like something they might click with, you see the instant impact that you have, and that's what it's all about. Like I love inspiring others, and if it's just one person, it already is like huge.
Yeah, definitely. What would you say to a younger person that is starting to get into volleyball? What would you say to them in terms of what they could achieve, or any advice that you could give them?
I think just really stay true to yourself. It's so important to be yourself and be comfortable with that, and trust the process. Again, like I always go back to that. Enjoy the journey. Make sure you like. It's so important to really enjoy it. There's gonna be highs and lows because nothing great comes easy. But if you have dreams and goals, don't let anyone or anything get in the way of them. Because if you're willing to work really hard and be perseverance about them, anything's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really great thing. What would you say has been one of your biggest setbacks or challenges so far?
Well, there's been a few challenges, just like anyone that wants to be successful. There's always adversity that you have to come across. And, from being told that I was too short to make it as a professional player, and having to really work hard and I guess not sure if proof is the right word, but just show them that like kind of not letting them put limits on myself. And obviously seeing that work to where I am now, like with an Olympic medal around my neck. That was obviously very tough, but I'm grateful for all the things that I went through, because it's, you know, it builds character and shaped me to be the person I am today. And then obviously injury wise, I had a major injury at World Champs in 2019, which was a big key event leading up to the Olympics. I tore my ligaments on my knee, so my MCL, and I didn't want to forfeit. My team had, you know, we had a goal to leave that tournament with a medal, and I just couldn't forfeit. I knew it was going to be tough with the pain. I knew I couldn't make it worse, but I knew it was going to be super painful. So I just had to build a lot of resilience and mentally just, you know, push through the pain. And it's amazing how much how much you can push your body if you're willing to really put yourself out there. And yeah, we walked away with bronze medal, and it was a massive lesson. I mean, not just for me, but I think for the team, of the things you can achieve with a pretty big injury.
Yeah, absolutely. And injuries are so tough. And I think people forget that, yes, it's a physical injury, but they also take such a toll on you mentally as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, there was always those thoughts like, are you going to be able to play? Are you going to be able to move? Like these and that, like all these little voices start playing on your head. But again, you just need to put that aside and focus on the things you can control and what you can do. And, you know, my team was super supportive, and every game was just like, all right, if you're going to play, make sure you go out there and just do the best you can. And every time I went out there, I just did the best I could. And that's really I could do.
Yeah, absolutely. What was the recovery like for you then? Because I know some people can find it quite challenging. I mean, I'm recovering from a surgery and injury myself. So like, I know mentally I'm like, yes, my body can do all these things, but physically it's just not there yet. What was it like, that recovery process?
Yeah, you definitely have to be really patient about it. I had to come home, and as a team, we weren't able to compete for the rest of the tour. And I had to be on a brace for 8 weeks and 24/7 on a brace. And I had to do a lot of rehab and just have a lot of trust in my team around me. And yeah, a lot of patience and just trust that it was going to be okay. But I just needed to go through the process.
Yeah. And I think that is a big thing, is knowing that, yes, I will get there. I just need to be patient. It will work out. It just takes time.
Yeah. And you got to stay positive as well throughout it, because that's the only way that will help you get through it.
Yeah, I agree. On a happier note then, what would you say is one of your biggest achievements so far?
Well, definitely, I think an Olympic medal would have to be at the top. Even though it's not the gold one, it still, you know, resembles a lot of hard work and perseverance right back from when I started. You know, just super proud of our team on just how we overcame all this adversity. And I think the medal would definitely have to be the top one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even though, as you said, it's not a gold, it's still a reflection on all that hard work and training and dedication that you did put to get there, because it's not gold, but that doesn't make it, I don't think, any less valuable.
No, yeah, exactly. I think an Olympic medal, regardless of the color, it's still, you know, a huge achievement. And to win an Olympic medal is like an absolute dream. It's every athlete's dream. So, and to be standing on top of the podium wearing the green and gold was just an incredible moment.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's one that you will remember for a very, very long time.
Yeah, until I win gold next.
Absolutely. I would love to know your point of view on a topic that I think has been brought up quite a lot, particularly in the Olympics, in terms of body image and uniform and all those topics and conversations. What's your sort of stance on it being in volleyball? Like, you do wear, I guess, a uniform that isn't as coverage, I guess, and have as much coverage. It's a bit more minimal than other sports. What's your sort of stance on the uniform and just body image in sport in general?
Oh, look, I personally wouldn't want to wear anything else. You get so sandy and sweaty that it would be so uncomfortable to wear anything else. Um, and like I would probably say a lot of us think the same. I think you know, it would be nice to see that a personal choice or having your own choice on what you wear would be great to see. I think, you know, if you don't feel comfortable wearing a bikini and you'd rather play in shorts and a shirt, I think you know, that's something we can definitely progress to. I know definitely if you can't, like if you have a religious background and you have to wear something more coverage, then it's completely fine. But I think, yeah, I think it is important that hopefully we'll progress into being a personal choice. But I think, again, we should just focus on, you know, instead of what we're wearing, just what we're actually doing, and like, you know, all the like the incredible things we're able to do as athletes. And I think that's where the focus should shift instead of what we're wearing. But
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that it should be like, yes, my body looks like this, but look how much it can do.
exactly, yeah, like how it moves and what it can do, like that's way more impressive than what you're wearing.
Yeah, 100%. It's like my body's a vessel and it allows me to do so many different things. And if that's what it
Yeah.
looks like, then great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
amazing. What are your upcoming goals, short term or long term?
Well, definitely looking forward to getting out of quarantine and spending time with family. It's been a pretty intense 5 years, so I think, yeah, we are definitely looking for a little break. I think it's important to give our minds and, you know, mentally and emotionally to just switch off for a bit. The next 3 years are going to be pretty full on for us with World Champs and Com Games next year. And then obviously Paris around the corner. So I think this time is the only time where we're going to get some time off. So I think we'll just, you know, relax, enjoy, and really celebrate our medal, because we haven't had the chance to, coming obviously straight into a room after we landed back home. So yeah, I think we'll be excited to just celebrate and enjoy family time.
Yeah, and absolutely, definitely celebrate hard because it's definitely worth something to celebrate.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you think sport has had on your life? And do you think it has changed or evolved?
Oh, I mean, I was born into sport. I come from a very active and sporty family, and I've loved physical activities since I was a little girl. I couldn't be still. I hated watching TV, movies. I was not that kind of girl. I was always outside, active. And I think sport has a huge impact on everyone. I mean, it teaches you discipline, teamwork, you know, hard work. It's got these incredible attributes that you end up using on a day-to-day basis in normal life. So yeah, I mean, I actually can't remember, like I don't know what life is without sport. Like I've always been involved in some sort of team, and it's just, yeah, it's shaped me to who I am as a person, and I absolutely love it, and I couldn't recommend it, you know, anymore to young kids to get involved and have a go.
Yeah, I agree. I think like it's so fun, like it's good for you. And there's
Mm.
so many skills that you can learn too that can be applied outside of sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I would love to know, this is a question that I've recently started asking people because I love finding out people's answers. When you're in Tokyo, was there anyone that you got to meet, or was there anyone that you like totally fangirled over, or only got a photo with, got a signature, or just even just saw them walking across the road?
Well, it's a funny question because this time round I was really focused and in the zone of what I was there to do. Obviously, like I love being surrounded by all these incredible athletes, but I didn't really, like, if I see them, I'll be like, oh, cool, like that's so and so. But I didn't really like give it much because I was like, I'm here for a reason, and I'm just like not bothered about wasting my time on anything else.
Yeah, that's understandable. Totally.
Yeah.
I would love to know I'd love to finish with 3 questions. The
Yeah.
first one is, what is something that you're most proud of about yourself?
I'm definitely proud of who I am as a person today. I've, obviously I don't regret any challenges and adversity that I've been through. I think it's shaped me to be the person I am today. I'm really proud of also how deep I was willing to dig within myself and develop that self-development and get to a place where I'm happy with who I am as a person first. And like I was telling you earlier, my self-worth and my fulfillment, it's not defined by losing or winning volleyball games. I'm feel so happy with who I am as a person first, and the rest is just a bonus.
Yeah, absolutely something to be proud of. And I love asking that question because I don't think anyone that I've spoken to yet has mentioned sport when I ask that question.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
What is your favorite quote and or the best piece of advice that you've ever been given?
I've always said this to myself and I won't stop, and I share it with everyone. And it's, don't let anything or anyone get in the way of your dreams. Never.
Yeah. Don't
there's always going to be people saying you can't do this, or you're not meant to be for this, or blah, blah, blah. I'm like, if I have a goal or a dream, don't you tell me why or how I should, I can't do it. I know it's not going to be easy, but I'm willing to work hard for it and achieve it.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't put any limits on yourself.
Exactly. Don't put any limits on yourself or let anyone else put it on you.
Yeah, exactly right. The last question I have is, any tips for those that are listening?
Any tips?
Yeah.
Tips: be yourself, always with a smile on your face, and always be kind, because you never know what anyone else is going through. And be a good person first.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's great advice. And I think you shared a lot of things throughout this chat, particularly those that, always be yourself and do your best. I think they're the 2 things that I think have definitely come across in this chat. So thank you so much for sharing and coming on here today.
No, thanks for having me.